Hey Dave, we are right on the edge of the beginning of the 2021 season. We had a tough pre-season, but you must be excited to get going.
Yeah, I think everybody is. If you take into account the whole situation through the pandemic and the lockdown and the having to train in bubbles and that, the fact that we're about to, start our season off, everybody's excited as anything.
And we've talked a lot over the winter about how many positives there were to take from last season, but a few new additions as well. But there must be real momentum going into this campaign.
There is. We've got a couple of new additions, particularly in the bowling attack of George Scrimshaw. Nick Potts has signed up with us from the academy, so we've got a little bit more depth within our bowling squad as well. But it is all a young and excitable team. At the end of the day, our bowling side, Lewis Rees, with being the exception as the older statesman, everyone else is young and inexperienced. So there's an amount of excitement certainly about the versatility that we've got within the team, but also it's quite exciting because you're not quite sure exactly what you're going to get. That's what was so good about last year. We weren't so sure, and we got some real good stuff out of it, and we're hoping that same thing will happen again.
And how much are you looking forward to seeing Billy Stanley come over and play across the formats?
Yeah, I really am. I've been in communication with Billy over sort of WhatsApp texting and so on, and we've had a couple of good chats, and he's I really like the fact that he's so excited about wanting to be here and to put on a Derbyshire shirt. For a young man himself, he's only sort of mid-20s. He's going to be leading this attack, and he's going to be, there'll be a big role for him to play on and off the field with these young bowlers.
Yeah, and with the younger players as well, we've also seen in pre-season quite a few academy players get a chance to play against first-team players from other counties. How much does that kind of put the academy and the development of these young players at the forefront of your mind?
Yeah, very much so. It has always been my idea to try and get the bridge between pathway cricket and the first team or the first squad in a better situation. The way to do that is through your academy, and then to play your academy in the second team and get them to build up or to lose the fear of suddenly moving out of like school and becoming into university. You just move in with them. So the more they can play with our second team players as they're growing through the academy, then the transition is not there anymore and it becomes easy.
Yeah, and just on the experienced players as well, obviously Billy the captain, Lewis Rees you've already mentioned, Wayne Madsen as well, Alex Hughes in the squad. How much of an important effect will they have on leading the squad this year?
Yeah, you always want your big players to stand up and your experienced players to stand up. You can't always guarantee that they're going to be the highest run scorers or the biggest wicket takers within your side. But they have a role in education because they've been there before, they've done it before. And sometimes the youngsters might have a bad day in the field or get a naught or something and be down on themselves. And these guys are there to actually be within the change room to say, listen, this is how cricket happens. And talk them through it and get them over it quicker, and hopefully in that way pass their experience on, and the team grows like that.
And of course, a special date in the diary as well is May 17th. That's when we hope to, or from which we hope to be able to welcome members back into the ground for the Durham game starting on May 20th. How much are you looking forward to having those back and just seeing that support again?
Well, a lot of these regular watchers of first-class cricket, I consider as good friends as well. Over the 3 trips I've had at Derby in this 20 years, I've got to know a lot of them, and it's so nice to be able to walk around the ground and just to see them and have a chat and see how they're doing. So from that point of view, as much as anything, I'm really looking forward to it. But just to have people in the ground and to be able to hear the sound of clapping when you hit a boundary, or the shouts of joy when you take a wicket, just be fantastic. We can't wait for it.
And lastly, when you consider that during the Bob Willis Trophy, statistically you were in the top 5 teams in the country, the best performing Division 2 side before the change in structure. So what are the ambitions for this season?
Yeah, that's always a tough question, and I'm sure with 18 heads of cricket or directors of cricket around the country all get the same question asked of them by their media, and it's always a tough one to answer. I recognise where we are, and we are a very young side. Obviously I would like us to win something. I think we have the squad that can challenge, particularly in white ball formats. The 4-day game, the longer format, it's harder for a small squad like us and a young squad to hold our strength throughout a season. So I would think if we can get ourselves into the third round of the championship, up the ladder into either the first group or the second group, that I would consider as progress. And certainly to be challenging for a trophy in the white ball, I think is a must for us.
Dave, thank you.